Woman took off her $1 million Rolex and swapped it for a pair of cheap leather shoes, then had her assistant stomp on them a couple of times. Lena crafted this woman of the people persona so she could successfully run for mayor. She usually stayed in a tiny 500-square-foot rental, but in the middle of the night, she and her husband would sneak out the back door and return to their multi-million-dollar mansion downtown. She wore designer clothes and dined exclusively on premium seafood. In front of the public, Lena was nothing but a fraud. During the candidate debate, when her opponent accused her of tax evasion, she fired back by asking how much money he'd made recently trading stocks, just enough to rake in a few billion won. At just the right moment, she would put on a show of heartfelt vulnerability, leaving her rival completely dumbfounded. After wrapping up the interview, she rushed off to a dinner meeting, only to find that the very same opponent from the debate was already sitting at the table. All of it was part of Lena's elaborate scheme to secure votes. As part of the deal, she shared insider information about stocks that could net them enough to buy an apartment in the heart of the city. Later that night, the three of them moved to a private room where they drank and danced wildly. They never realized a tabloid photographer was snapping pictures of everything. Just as the deal was going down, Lena's assistant happened to pass by and spotted them. Though he didn't catch the paparazzo, he managed to jot down the license plate number. When the story reached Jack, the shadowy financier behind Lena's campaign, he sent someone to track down the photographer and traded a brand new BMW in exchange for the footage from that night. When Lena heard what Jack had done, she put on a lavish display of affection for him in public. That night, she got a phone call summoning her to the mountains. Lena and her assistant drove deep into the hills, where an old woman gestured for Lena to come closer, then slapped her across the face. The woman was Lena's grandmother. In her younger years, she'd sold wild vegetables to earn money so she could help the poor, and had been recognized as one of Korea's most inspiring people. But to win sympathy and votes, Lena had claimed her grandmother was already dead and kept her hidden away in the mountains. Her grandmother, who could no longer speak easily, used hand signs to show her disappointment. As they left, heavy rain started to fall. Lena prayed that she would be re-elected as mayor. Meanwhile, her grandmother prayed her granddaughter would finally become an honest, decent person who would stop living a lie. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning struck Lena, leaving her trembling and collapsed on the ground. It was as if God had heard her grandmother's prayers and cursed Lena to never tell another lie. The next day, she called her boss an old fart, complained her mother-in-law was an insufferable nag, and told her husband he was nothing but a freeloader. When she went on a live news broadcast, the host asked if she was nervous. She bluntly said she was destined to be president one day. This was nothing to her. From there, Lena blurted out countless uncomfortable truths. Her bizarre behavior quickly turned her into a national laughingstock. At her new book launch, a reporter asked how she'd managed to top the bestseller charts. She admitted she'd paid people to buy up copies in bulk. When asked how she'd found time to write with such a packed schedule, her assistant frantically tried to signal her not to answer, but Lena blurted out that she'd paid someone else to write it for her. Her assistant completely lost it. Lena shot to the top of the headlines, and her approval ratings as mayor went into free fall. Overcome with regret, she slapped herself across the face again and again. She tried every folk remedy she could find to cure her uncontrollable honesty, but nothing worked.